Okay, I'm just going to check a couple of things before we get started just to make sure everything is running smoothly. I'm still figuring out some stuff with multi-stream. But hello, everybody. Good. A little sore in a joints. Don't think that's how that's meant to be phrased. But a good day's work is done. The joints. I got to work today, and I'm happy about that. That he's pleased me that I have been able to work. Okay, the Twitter stream is up and running just fine. Oh wait, I actually haven't checked a thing on Twitter just yet. Have I been verified? Am I verified? Because I know you get run. Yeah, okay, I'm verified. And that was faster than I expected. I thought that would take a bit longer, but no, that was fast. You do outside or indoor work outside of streaming? I do indoor work. It's just part-time right now. And it's 2 days out of the week for 5 hours. It's a sort of like kind of like a temp thing. But I get paid. I do get paid. I do in-office work. File sorting. I'm one of the people in the back sorting and handling a bunch of the paperwork and files. Now, I'm not writing down anything, nor am I even like scrolling over documentation. Right now, what I'm doing is looking for things of a certain date because they're expired, and then I am putting all of those in a box to then systematically shred into paper shreds because they're out of date and full of particular information. So you have to shred them, and then you bag them up and take them to the dumpster and toss them out. That's what I've been doing. So 5 hours of the day, I am either sorting through cabinets. No, I'm either sorting through folders in a drawer, pulling out anything from a certain date, certain set dates, and putting it in a box. Or I am actively shredding the thousands of papers that I have sorted through along with my peers and shredding them. So that's what I've been doing. It's a thing. Now I'm not gonna go into obviously big details like what the papers are, what they're for, because that's that's classified stuff. That's stuff you don't mention because it's personal, general information, but it's file sorting, so that's how it works. Like I can tell you what I'm doing, which is shredding and sorting papers, which is anything. Cool organizer and evidence deleter. No, that's okay. Panzer, I'm not sorry, not Panzer. Rip, I'm not gonna make a joke of this because it's actually something that's kind of thing. Because it's like you want to take it seriously. What I do is I sort through files and I get rid of files that are expired. That's what I do. It's not an evidence thing. I don't want to put it up, I don't want to pull that up as a joke, at least until I'm more comfortable with the job. I understand the context though, like being light with stuff is it's not bad. I just not while I'm still early in the job and I don't know what's good and what's not. Because depending on the job, I know some people can take things a little too seriously. So until I got a good feel for it, I'm not going to be making jokes like that. I know, just pulling your leg. We don't need to know anyway. Well, obviously, I'm not gonna tell you anyway, no matter how that goes. Like, I'm not gonna give details out on stream because that's dumb. But anyway, we're gonna get started on today's daily doodle, and then we're gonna work on hopefully Blossom's commission order. I say hopefully because it's all going to depend on how tired I get afterward, because I did work today. I've been up for a bit and I have been very active. I also had to socialize, which drains my battery really fast. But I do want to try and get some work done on that. But for today, We're gonna do the daily. I'm not gonna say it's not gonna take long because last time I said that it took long, and I didn't intend for that. So I'm gonna focus on Luke this time around. So let me see. Oh, I was using a different brush. Oh right, I almost forgot. Hello, error. All right, let me quickly. Where is it? There it is. Okay. All right, so let's get started then. Man, your name is long. Of brand Nuggets. I'm good. Just say Nuggets. I remember doing this whole song and dance before. Hello. How is stream? We just got started, so we haven't figured out how stream's going just yet. Hmm. I think I've got an idea. All right. Just cook me up some Red Baron specialty pizza. Ooh. I wonder if Blossom will show up or if she'll ignore the stream. I just give her I give her so much needless like grief. I'm just like, oh, you just ignoring me now. Okay. Just astral artisan, professional gaslight. I feel like that ear is a little farther out than it should be. Which means the jawline is also slightly off. But I want a mantle. She could already be here. Let's see. No, she's not. If she was here, her little avatar would show up at some point. It has not showed up, so I know she's not here. Did they show up once someone messages or before that? They show up. Um, I'm not sure what the exact trigger is that causes that, but I do know that they show up if I think they show up if they've been in stream for like a minute. I think that's the trigger because I can see that Neko is here. Like I can see Neko's right there, just lurking in the background and not, she's not typing in the chat, but I can see that she's here because her avatar is here. Lies. See, right there. There's Neko. She was lurking in the back. And what do you mean lies? I was correct. You were lurking in the back. You just didn't say anything. No part of what I said was false in any capacity. I literally popped in 30 seconds ago. Okay, so it's not. I didn't lie. I was just wrong. That's pretty much it. I was just wrong. So here's, I guess, how it works is it checks if somebody who is following is here, and I guess after maybe 5 or 10 seconds, give or take, I'm just ballparking an estimate here. It pops their avatar in. But yeah, Neko, there was no falsehood being spoken. I simply was wrong. I did not say anything that was an act to deceive. I was just simply incorrect in my assumption. I want to encourage people to admit that they're just wrong sometimes rather than just say, "Oh, I was just telling a lie," because that's worse. It's worse because you make yourself a liar by doing that for one. Just admit to being wrong. Like there's nothing bad about being wrong if you admit to it. It only becomes bad when you say that you were that when you don't admit to it. Anyway, hope you have a good time while you're here. It's interesting to see you here, by the way, Neko. Normally you're here for the Mabby streams, not for the regular streams. Not saying you don't show up for regular streams. I'm just saying it's interesting because you're usually here for Mabby streams. Is each Pokemon avatar unique to each person? Yes. Um, every person can choose what avatar they have. However, there is a slight bug with some modifications because you can apply modifiers to the appearance of it in some capacity. Some of them are bugged. I'm not sure why, but some of them are bugged, so I have to go in and change that when that happens. It's happened a few times when new people show up and follow, but it's an easy fix. So, for people who haven't caught on to what I'm doing right here is uh Luke is a human fighter, very classic, and he is the mainline attacker because he is the most reliable hits. Uh so that's one thing. So today's theme is attacker. I think did I put it as yeah. Today's theme is attacker. So it's gonna be Luke's themed one. Yesterday was Gresha. Gresha was tank, which fitting, fitting that Gresha is tank. So we're gonna be doing one for each of the main four for this group. All right, just need to do some warp. Crazy that I got a shiny Logia off Lu- I don't know how to pronounce the name. Lugia off rip because I had no idea we got to choose. Okay, here's an idea if you want. Do a longsword. Yeah, that's already a thing. Luke uses a longsword and a shield. I got knocked out automatically. If the makers of Stream Avatar were super dedicated, maybe they have some system for determining an avatar based on a person's username. Well, I guess Logia isn't a dragon though. Oh, interesting. Yeah, no, Luke's a human fighter, and I made him as like close to the archetype of what that looks like as I possibly could. So I gave him a shield. I gave him a shield and a longsword because a longsword is a one-handed weapon that is has the versatile P trait, which means it can deal slashing and piercing damage at the choice of the wielder. And shields are just beneficial because fighter gets good feet, gets good abilities and stuff for shield off rip. So yeah, no, Luke is just a human fighter. I haven't thought of surnames for any of these characters yet. I'm thinking I will at some point, but right now they're all just their basic. They're all just the basic idea of what their archetypes are. So Luke is Luke the human fighter. Gresha is the orc barbarian. Uh, Stab, yes, that's his name, is the goblin rogue, and Holly is the halfling oracle. So until I come up with surnames for each of them, I will be just referring to them as their characters and archetypes because each of them are meant to be sort of a played theme on an archetype that you would see in like a JRPG or in a uh, tabletop game. So the idea is to have them be like that. Let's see, how is that held? Thumb is kind of held out like this. Oh, interesting. What's a JRPG? I actually don't know what the acronym stands for, but RPG stands for role playing game. I think what was the J? I can give you an example, like a game example of what a JRPG is. I think I could be getting my terminologies mixed up, but think like Final Fantasy, Dragon Quest, like those I believe are regarded as JRPGs. It's basically like a typical sort of adventure game with turn-based combat. That's kind of the idea, I think. I don't think that's the most accurate description of it, but that's a good example, I suppose. J is for Japanese, as far as I can know. Oh, right, yeah, Japanese role-playing game. Okay, that makes sense because most of those games were developed in Japan. Like Final Fantasy was developed in Japan and released in America and got very popular. I guess that's where the J comes from, unless I am horribly mistaken. Hard to say. J is just dance. That doesn't make sense. Western and Japanese RPGs have historically followed certain style archetypes. That makes sense to me. I've never had to draw a sword being held in this manner. Hmm. How do I draw a sword in this manner? Yeah, the hand. I've not done the hand at this pose before, so I'm a little new to how it should be held. Let's see, so the thumb would be here, grabbing over the blade, but I don't think. Hi.
XO0R underscore 404 X cheered. X10. Look, we don't need it to make sense to where we're going.
I disagree. That hand is gonna look really wonky. Yeah, that hand looks a little wonky, but I think that's the best I'm gonna be able to do at my current understanding of how it's meant to work. All right, so I think that will do for the sword swipe. Look, you know what they say about disagreements? Yeah, I'm always right, and I'm always right because I'm the streamer. I host this stream, and I can stop this whenever I want. So if I'm not right, then that means that all this stops. So we're gonna stop arguing about it, okay? Because I will abuse my powers. This is not a democracy. This is an authoritarianship. I am a dictator here in chat. I am a dictator over here on my channel. To disagree or not to disagree, that is thy question, Albert Einstein. I don't think that. I don't know if that's correct. All right, anyway, enough goofing around. Let me get back to being focused. Stop distracting me. I'm trying to work. I am trying to focus. I don't want to hear that crap of you telling me to focus when I have been trying to focus and y'all been trying to distract me. Don't give me that crap. I will fight you. All right. I think maybe the arm needs to be up a little bit more. Maybe. Yeah, I think that looks a little better. I don't think that's quite right. I'm going to do this on a separate layer because it's going to require me to kind of like trial and error this a little bit. Make sure I'm on the right. Yep. Us distract you? Never. Don't. Mm-mm. None of that. None of that crap. We're not. All right, let's see. I think I need this to be bigger. All right, let's see. All right, let's see. Is there? Maybe I should go just full extreme with this. Okay. Nope. I think this one might be the. Think. I think this is the best we're gonna get with this. I'm not the best with effects like this. All right, let's try and get the curve a little bit better. Thanks for the hydrate and stretch out. I can't hydrate. I don't have water. Well, I've got this diluted soda water, so I'll use that. Eh, tastes gross, but whatever. I think that'll do for that. Let's see. He needs to be attacking something. He needs to be attacking something, but I'm not sure what to make him attack. Uh, Go get water. You must hydrate. Nope. I am not leaving my spot because I don't want to lose my rhythm. If I leave right now, I will lose my rhythm and I will not be happy about it. So I'm not going to do that. I had some water next to me. It wasn't tasty. It was not tasty water, but I had it. So I still did it. So don't complain. And if you continue to complain, I will deactivate the hydrate button because I am that petty. I think this leg doesn't look right. Right. All right. Way you head, Patton. All right, I need to think of something for him to. Oh, an ooze. An ooze is not too difficult to draw. Fluids are not the easiest thing to draw, but you know what? I'm gonna try. Har? Hello. Hi, Weasel. All right. All right. There we go. Now we're just gonna adjust some proportions. Also, I need to do this. There we go. All right, now we just, let's see. Nope, that's not the right thing. Let's see. I want to push the pose a little bit, but not like that. Let's try this again. Let's try pinching this a little bit so that this has more swing to it. And then pull this down a little. I think that's got more oomph as far as the pose goes. Just need to move a couple of things around. Make the body a little bigger. Spread out the head a little more to give it some more presence. I'll need to fix the ear, give it some more size. And now to give that shoulder some better reach. All right, I think that's the pose all done for Luke. Now I just need to get the angle right. Right there looks pretty good. And let's get the face lined up. All right, I think that will do for the baseline. Everything else will basically be filling in the gaps. All right, so now I need to get the others in the back. So I'm gonna do a background line to get a good angle. I think something like this, maybe. Have this pinch maybe here. There we go. All right, so that gives us a good, I think maybe angle this a little more down. There we go. I think curving it a little bit will help make it feel more dynamic. Not like that though. Let's just try moving it like this, because this is a good angle, but I feel like it could be moved to over a bit. No, not like that. Let me see. Yeah, I think that is the right angle to go for. Just gotta tighten it up a little. All right, base is laid. Now let's get the others in. See how far in we are. We're 48 minutes in already, and I've only gotten Luke laid down, and it's still kind of sloppy in some areas. Hang on, if I don't do this, I'm gonna forget. I just need to make a couple of nudges here and there. Okay, make a couple of little adjustments here and there. Fix the arm so it has more of that curve that I prefer. And yeah, that's what we want. That's what we want. I'm weirdly chatty today. All right, so let's see. I'm gonna have, let's see, in the back. Let's see. Do I have Grisha maybe behind here? Like, would she be in a good spot right there, or would it be like fall back with back to back kind of deal? Yeah, I know what I'll do. I'm gonna have Grisha be right here, back to back. right, let me do some adjustments. I had to get Gresha in on the action. Like she is big girl. She big girl. She want to be in that fight. She want to beat the crap out of some poor schmuck that thinks he's gonna get away alive today. I'm gonna have the axe head come out a little bit more, just to show off the silhouette a little bit more. Let's see. I believe this will be how the something like this. I think the accent should be a bit better. Afternoon. Just stopped by to say hi. Well, thank you for stopping by. I'm glad you had that. You felt. I lost. I fumbled my words. I am a failure. I fumbled my words and I could not speak the thing I wanted to say. What I was trying to get across was just a thank you for dropping by. You don't got to stick around, but hey, just the fact that you drop by and say hi, that's a boost to my mentality. It means that you thought of me, and that makes me feel happy. All right, we've got Gresha in with her axe. Just need to adjust some of the proportions a bit here and there. The angle and the tilt of a few things. Her foot needs to be definitely a bit on the bigger side. There we go. Is she too close? If she was a little further away, how would she look? I think she's good right where she's at, honestly. I think she's got a great pose where she's at. Right. I just think the characters themselves need to be shrunk down a little bit more. I'll pull. There we go. There we go. That's what we love to see. I'm going to move this ear here back a bit to give her an eye to look over. There we go. I enjoy seeing these sketches you post on X. One of these days, I'll catch your stream when I'm not working and I can actually try interacting more. Well, Hey, listen, Tunist, let me just give you some fun little factoid here. I am a lurker advocate for my streams. I actively say, hey, if you just want to hang out and don't want to talk, that's perfectly fine. I like people that interact, but it doesn't mean I'm not appreciative of people that just lurk in the back and enjoy the process. I don't mind that one bit. The fact is, you're taking time, even if it's just to listen or watch on the side, you're taking time to come here and give me viewer retention. And that's always beneficial to any content creator. Any content creator that shames or says no, we don't want you here if you aren't like actively engaged, they're just being rude. That's honestly just rude. Maybe there's a certain thing for that if it's like a game show type thing, that one would make more sense. But if it's just someone just chilling out, that's just rude. And I'm not that. I'm not going to be rude to someone who just wants to hang out. So you just have fun. You can just listen to it in the back. Heck, you can leave without saying a word. I'm not going to complain because you were here and you were being positive, at least to some degree. So, yeah. Just know I appreciate you. I appreciate you, bro. All right, so let's all right. Now we need to get now we're gonna get appreciate the defensive lurkers. Listen, all right. Lurkers are fantastic. Now, time to draw a freaking stab. Nearly dead. I'm gonna start with Holly. Just being like, why? Why have you done this again, Stab? Hmm. I selfishly want to interact with you as well for my benefit as much as yours. Well, you're currently at work, so uh don't get caught. Not don't do that. It's just don't get caught. Listen, all right? I'm not going to tell you what to do. I'm just going to say I'm just going to give you some advice. That's it. The advice is just don't get caught. All right. Oh, poor Holly is just she is having a day. I think this actually should be down, up, because she's looking down. All right. All right, and let's do some little adjustments for poor Holly. Holly is just out here, just like poor Stab is just gonna be so. Man, I'm just gonna mess up Stab with this in this drawing. Stab is just gonna be having a bad day because the classic joke: the rogue tried to do something. The rogue tried to do something cool, and it did not go as planned. Running theme: the rogue gets the rogue gets in trouble. Just she's just at the back, just like, are you okay? I'm still alive. Stab just, I'm still alive. Man, I feel like I'm a bad person because I laughed so much at the absolute misery that I'm putting poor Stab through. Stab is just like, I'm okay. But he is not. He really is not okay. He's just got both his daggers in hand, just like, don't take me out, coach. I can still fight. Stab is just barely hanging in there. Holly, can you please put my Holly, can you please put my organs back where they're supposed to be? I always put an arrow in everybody to make it very clear. Yeah, they're hurt. It's just like he is just in immense pain. Just I gotta get Blossom. Hey, I gotta ring Blossom up because she's gotta see this. I gotta ring up Blossom. Where is she in my messages? There she is. All right. So I will go ahead and get Holly cleaned up. I know, I'm just laughing too much at this. I am amused by my own joke. That's not that good. Blossom Stab did the thing the rogue wasn't supposed to do. He tried to do something cool and it didn't go very well. But this is meant to be a thing for Luke. But of course, I had to hurt Stab at least once. I had to hurt Stab at least once today. I didn't hurt him yesterday, so I needed to hurt him today. Holly is just like, Stab, why do you keep doing these things? Because it's cool. Because when it works, it's cool. Poor Stab. All right. All right, now let's get started. All right, now then. Let me do some Let's fix that smirk a little bit. There we go. Plus died, by the way. Blossom, are you here still? Yeah, okay. Plus side, I don't work tomorrow. I got to work today, but I don't work tomorrow, so I can stream later, and I feel like I'm getting a little bit more energy. So Blossom, if you want to ever at any point during tonight join me in conversation, just hop into the VIP. I'll pull you into the chat that I'm currently in. But you got to let me know if you do it, all right? Because I'm not omnipresent. Okay. Is that you saying, okay, you'll notify me? Or is that you saying, okay, I'm in? I'll notify. Remember, I don't get Discord notifications. Just be sure to do it in Twitch. Here we go. There we go. Luke's looking slick. Okay. All right. This one's going to be strange. I've not done one of these in a long while. All right. And what time have I been at? Hour 30. Not as long as the last one just yet. The last one was nearly 3 hours. No, an hour, 2 hours and 30 minutes, I think was the last one. This one's looking like it might end up being about the same length, honestly. I'm getting way into these daily doodles, especially with these goobers, because I love them. I love them so much. Nice. All right, now for this little. My knees cramping. Hang on. Boy. Oh, boy. I gotta crack my neck. Hang on. Hmm. Hmm. All right. Now for Gresha. Am I on the right layer? Yes, I am. I think. Yes. Okay, thank goodness. So just stretch for free. Here's a redeem. Oop, never mind. Fresh out of stretch redeems. You do you. It's all good. It's all good, Tunist. All right. All right. All right. Let's see. All right. How does this look? I love them. I so far this piece is, I'm really feeling it. All right, time to draw. Time to refine poor Stab. Stab gets stabbed. It's the running gag. Just Stab is just having a bad day. Stab out here just like, I'm doing my best and it's not going well. Hi, Stab. You're not having a good day. I'm gonna check something real quick. It'll just take me a second. Let's see. This looks alright. Okay, looks like that's also still running. I'm gonna turn the audio on just to make sure. Wait, no, I can't hear anything just yet. Okay, now I can hear stuff. All right. It'll take it a second because of. There we go. Okay, so that's working. Let me check YouTube VODs, make sure that's working. Probably not the best option to try and check to make sure the audio is working 2 hours in. Okay, audio's working. We're good. Back to it. So it's a little stuffy in here. I'm gonna go. Let's see. We're gonna take a break. I'm gonna grab a snack. I'm gonna get a drink. I'm gonna get some actual water. I'm gonna turn on. I'm gonna turn my fan on high because it's a little stuffy in here. So we're gonna take a short break. Maybe 5-10 minutes, depending, and then we're gonna finish up the daily doodle, and then we're gonna move to commissions. We're gonna be going a bit for wait. Dang it. I can't. Because I have a thing I have to do later. Because it's sort of the better day for it. Dang it. I'm such a good flow. Let's see. Today's Wednesday. I've got Thursday and Friday. I hope I'll just have to hope I get into a good flow tomorrow then. Well, anyway, we're going to take a quick break. I'll be right back. All right, I am back. I have water, I have apple juice, and I have tablet. So let's get back to it. And I need to be on the right layer if I'm going to do this thing that I'm doing. There we go. All right. So let's see. Do I go ahead and draw Holly on the same? You know what? I can, because they're not overlapping too much, I'm going to draw them on the same layer. I think it'll be fine. Whoa, excuse me. Hiccups and belches are not a thing people like to hear on stream. Oh, Holly, I know it's one of those things where you're just like, listen, all right, he's doing his best. He's just like, Grift, you could have died. I almost did. I almost did, and it was cool. I almost did, but it was worth it because it was so cool. Can we please not make this a habit? Oh, Holly. One second. One second. I just had a very random divergent thought and I need to see something. This'll take me a minute. Okay. Was just checking a thing. She's just I just love that she's just panic healing. I'm just like, please. Let's do some nudging. All right, let's see. Where is it? There it is. Yes. Excellent, excellent. Nice. Now, all that's left is the heavy outline for everybody in the drawing. So let's get that line. Once this is done, I'm going to unfortunately call stream there. I want to draw a little bit more, but I have a thing I have to do that I completely forgot about until a moment ago, which does in fact upset me because I was gonna go late tonight. Every time I do this, it's like there's always one little thing. I'm doing too many things at once. That's my issue. I'm doing too many things. I'm gonna have to come up with a different system so that I can work on commission orders because I wanted to do a bunch of them live. That's obviously not working because the daily doodles are taking much longer than I was expecting. But I don't want to not do the daily doodles, obviously. So what I will do instead is I will just set up a schedule thing so that I'll do daily doodles when I am live, and if I have time later, then I will do commission orders. But I'm going to start making a scheduled time for me to work on commission orders off stream because I think I'm going to have to start doing them earlier because I think that's the only way I'm going to be able to really make some leeway because I have been not making good progress, and that is all my fault, really. I'm not gonna. Blossom, are you there? Are you present at the moment, Blossom? Probably not, but I'm just checking. Okay, Blossom's not here. I was gonna ask her if she would like a partial refund or just a full refund because I feel like I have not been buckling down on the what I should have been doing. She probably won't allow it. She's like that. She goes, listen, some people take a full year to do that. Yeah, but I'm not those people. I don't do that. Um, one moment. Actually, wait a minute. Just thought of something. Let's see if I can find this thing. There we go. That'll do. It's Luke all lined out. There we go. All right, Grusha, your turn. Okay. Now for for these idiots. Hang in there, Stab. You'll be fine. Don't worry, Stab. It's just a minor wound. Holly could fix you right up. There we go. All right. I think it needs a little bit of contrast shading. All right, now. And lastly. And I think. There we go. There we go. That's the piece. I like it. Feels very dynamic. Oh, wait. No, we're not done just yet. I almost forgot. Almost forgot. Almost forgot. No, I should probably put the text down first, actually. Let me do that. Okay. Now. Let's see. Hmm. All right. No. I've got to begin my commute home, so have a good night. Well, thank you for lurking, Tunist. I'm glad we got to have you. Hope you have a good rest of your evening. All right. All right. That's it for this piece. Okay, so let me find something real quick. Okay, we are gonna find someone to raid. Yes, I have to call it early, even though I don't want to exactly. It's one of those things. It's just one of those things that sucks a little bit, but we're not gonna get bogged down by it. Let's see, who can we raid? It's not a really big raid today, and we don't have a lot of options actually. There's one person I'd like to raid, but I don't think she allows raids anymore. I'm gonna see if she is raidable. She probably isn't, but it's worth a check. Yeah, so she's not raidable. Bu- 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 Not seeing much going on actually. Actually, weirdly enough, I don't have anyone on my immediate vicinity to raid, so I guess we'll just close down with no raid today. That's a shame. I don't want to go and try and hunt for somebody right now. I used to do that. I don't do that as much these days. In fact, I don't do that anymore. I haven't done that in years, actually. I would like to, but we'll just wind things down calmly. So thank you all for showing up. Tomorrow, um, I don't know what's gonna go with tomorrow. Maybe I'll get to work on commission stuff on stream. I'm definitely going to be working on it off stream if I can manage to do it. Like manage my time well, because I need to work on something. I need to work on it. But with that being said, thank you for showing up, and I hope I will catch you all tomorrow, where I will hopefully stream for much longer. Bye bye.